Senator Vexthera's crystalline form shimmered with nervous energy as she approached the podium of the Grand Assembly. The vast amphitheater, carved from a single asteroid and suspended in the void between galaxies, fell silent. Representatives from 1,000 worlds turned their attention, or their species equivalent, toward the small figure at the center. Esteemed colleagues, Vexthera began, her voice translated into countless languages by the neural networks embedded in the chamber walls. We gather today to address the disappearance of Sol 3, the planet its inhabitants called Earth. A ripple of unease passed through the assembly. The Zephyrian delegates rustled their feathered crests, while the mechanoid faction's optical sensors flickered in synchronized patterns of concern. Earth had been scheduled for formal integration into the Galactic Senate in just 3 rotations. Now, where the blue-green world once orbited, there was nothing but empty space. Commander Thane of the Andromedian fleet stood, his 7-foot frame casting shadows across the nearest delegates. Senator, our deep space scanners confirm what we feared. The entire Sol system has been relocated. No trace of stellar debris, no gravitational anomalies. It's as if it simply ceased to exist in this dimensional plane. That's impossible, interjected Dr. Millennia Frost, the lone human representative who had been studying on Kepler 442b when Earth vanished. Her voice cracked with barely contained emotion. You can't just move an entire solar system. The energy requirements alone would require the combined output of 17 Type 3 civilizations, finished Archon Zokar, the ancient being whose species had witnessed the birth and death of countless stars. His gravelly voice carried the weight of eons. Unless, the chamber fell deathly quiet. Archon Zokar rarely spoke during sessions, his vast knowledge reserved for only the most critical moments. Unless what? Dr. Frost demanded, her human impatience showing despite years of diplomatic training. Zokar's multifaceted eyes shifted colors, cycling through spectrums invisible to most species present. Unless they did it themselves. The revelation hit the assembly like a quantum shockwave. Impossible. Earth had been classified as a Type 0 civilization, barely capable of interplanetary travel. Their most advanced technology was primitive fusion drives and quantum computers that functioned on probability rather than certainty. Senator Vexthera accessed the classified files through her neural link, projecting holographic data streams above the assembly. According to our anthropological surveys, Earth's dominant species showed remarkable adaptability but seemed fractured by tribal conflicts and resource disputes. How could such a divided civilization achieve dimensional translocation? Dr. Frost stared at the data, recognition dawning in her human features. The Fermi paradox, she whispered, then louder. We always wondered why we seemed alone in the universe despite the statistical probability of widespread intelligent life. What if every time a civilization reached a certain threshold, they chose to leave? Commander Thane's tactical implants sparked with activity as he processed the implications. You're suggesting Earth's inhabitants discovered our surveillance network and decided to evacuate rather than join the Senate? More than that, Archon Zokar rumbled, his ancient voice carrying a note of what might have been admiration. The energy signature we detected before the disappearance, it wasn't random. It was a message, encoded in gravitational waves. A simple phrase repeated in prime number sequences. The chamber's central processor decoded the message, displaying it in every known language simultaneously. Thanks, but we'll find our own way. Dr. Frost laughed despite herself, tears streaming down her face. They didn't want to be junior partners in someone else's cosmic empire. They wanted to explore the universe on their own terms, make their own mistakes, forge their own destiny. Senator Vexthera's crystalline form pulsed with colors indicating deep contemplation. Perhaps we underestimated them. A species that can unite long enough to relocate their entire solar system. That's not primitive at all. In the vastness of space, where Earth's sun once burned, only empty vacuum remained. But somewhere, in a dimension parallel to their own, a small blue world continued its journey around a familiar star, its inhabitants finally free to wonder about the universe without anyone watching over their shoulders. The Galactic Senate had learned a valuable lesson that day. Sometimes the greatest act of intelligence was knowing when to walk away.